Hello friends, Steely here today with a guide for you on Nechryaels. Let's talk about Nechs. So this guide is going to feature the Greater Nechryael variant. I will not be talking about the normal Nechryael. If you are going to kill them, just know that you can only find them over in the Mauritania Slayer Tower. They will be over here. Go ahead and head on over there if you want to kill the regular Nechs, but this guide will be focused specifically on Greater Nechryaels. The two locations that I am going to talk about in specific are going to be my two favorite locations for killing them, the Greater Kourend location as well as in the Wilderness Cave. Now, the Wilderness Cave, of course, there is a little bit more risk, but the reason I like it is because I can use a cannon out there to speed up the process as well. It just makes it less likely that I'm going to run into people. The Greater Kourend location is pretty popular. Now, there are two rooms that you can use, so that kind of helps, but I like the Wilderness because there's a little bit more solace out there for me. You may not choose to do it, but I will show you both methods. So, Wilderness location is located in the Wilderness Slayer Cave. That is located way up over here. Easiest way to get there is going to be the Obelisk level 19 teleport. You can also go from Corporeal Beast Cave, or you can just go from Pharaoh Enclave. That's a great option because you can bank and then run straight out east and over to the Wilderness Slayer Cave. The Greater Nechs are going to be over here in this little corner, right above the Anku, so when you go in, you're going to be here, just run straight up and over to the Greater Nechryael location. So I will show you the Wilderness variant, and then I will go ahead and show you the Greater Kourend method as well. The Greater Kourend location is located just outside of Kourend Castle. There is a cave right here. You can get there with your Xeric's Talisman to Xeric's Heart, or you can use the Kourend teleport at level 48 and then go straight in here. When you go down, they are going to be just due north and over to the east. There are two rooms here with the Greater Nechryaels, so I will show you that as well. Moving into the requirements for the Nechryael Slayer task, you are going to need a level 80 Slayer level in order to kill these monsters, so you do have to get your Slayer up to level 80 in order to take them on. As well, you will want to have a prayer level of 43 or more, just so you can use Protect from melee. Now, protecting from melee is going to help you with the Greater Nechs, however, it will not help with their death spawns that they spawn. Those will hit you through prayer, but they have a max hit of like 2, so, I mean, just some low-level food is going to do everything you need, so don't worry too much about that. On the magic side of things, I do recommend having at least level 70 magic and having completed Desert Treasure 1, just so that you can use the ancient magics to use a minimum of ice burst on these Nechryaels. They are very easy to burst, and you can stack them up on top of each other, which I will show you, and then you can get crazy magic XP and crazy Slayer XP on this task. So I do highly recommend that you have ancient magics and a minimum of 70 magic, ideally 94 magic, so that you can opt to use the Ice Barrage spell, which is what I will be using on this guide. The only other recommendation that I do have is if you can get an Ash Sanctifier and load that guy up some death runes, bring that with you. That is going to automatically scatter the ashes, which is going to give you some passive prayer XP. It's one of my personal favorite things to do when I'm out here killing Nechs, so I do recommend that you get the Ash Sanctifier as well if you can. On the gear side of things, for the Wilderness, not too much going on here. We've just got some very low level budget gear, carrying some monk robes, mystic boots. You know, we're not risking too much. I keep the occult necklace for the extra magic boost and bonus damage, and then of course your Slayer helm imbued. Highly recommend you have the Slayer helm imbued for this task, so you get that extra magic DPS as well. Not risking too much. The highest value thing I have is my occult necklace, and then of course, because I'm going out in the Wilderness, I'm going to bring my cannon and put it down, so that has some value as well. Inventory wise, just some low level food, some Blighted Super Restores, my looting bag to pick up all of the delicious rune items that Nechryaels will drop for me, a quick teleport out with my Royal Seed Pod, some cannonballs, and then a Blighted Ice Sack pile as well for casting the Ice Barrage spell. So just because we're already geared up in our Wilderness stuff, we are going to start with that right off the hop. So we're going to go ahead and head on out there. and show you how to set up and do the Nechryaels in the wilderness here. So, all right, so we're gonna go ahead and head on out there now. I'm just gonna use my obelisk in my house. Now, it is important to note there is no real advantage to doing them out in the wilderness because they don't drop any like super significant like high value drops per se. I just prefer doing them out here because I can use my cannon, helps to speed up the process as well. It just is usually a little like quieter versus the Kourend location. There's always just a ton of people in that spot, and I find that it's just much easier to do them in this location because I don't have to worry about a ton of traffic. So yeah, I mean, out here I've got a couple tiles marked. The cannon location is where I put my cannon, and then I like to stand off to the side here. Reason I stand over here is because typically if PKers are going to run in, they run in from over here or from down here, and I can see them. I have my wilderness player alarms on, so if I see anyone and it starts flashing, I just have my one-click teleport straight on out of here, and then I just stand over here and let my cannon draw them to me and ice barrage. It's some pretty sick XP as well. You will get some pretty decent drops, and then I just throw them all into my looting bag. When my looting bag is full, I tally out, I go restock, and I come back. So not too much to talk about here on the wilderness side of things. I just thought I would show it in the guide, and now we will head on over to the Kourend location and go through that next. Okay, now to discuss the Greater Kourend method. Now, in terms of the inventory and gear, for the gear I am rocking a budget setup here, so just using a Book of Darkness arms. If you want, you can use Dagon High if you don't want to have to worry about repairing arms. It is a little bit less expensive as well. The Occult Necklace, which you could swap out for a Fury or a Glory. The Eternal Boots, which you could swap out for Mystic Boots. A Brimstone Ring I do highly recommend. And then Barrow's Gloves. If you want to extend the task, you may also opt to use a Bracelet of Slaughter. That's also great to extend the task. And then, of course, I've got my Imbued Zamorak Cape. On the inventory side of things, I've got some steel darts, which I will show you why I have those. It's just to draw over the Nechs to you. Then I'm also carrying my Ash Sanctifier just to get that passive prayer XP. The Herb Sack is a fantastic option because they do drop a number of herbs. Having a herb sack is great just to store those extra herbs in there. A rune pouch with all of my blood spell runes in it. A quick teleport to my house because what I will do is teleport out, bank, go back down, and just have a rotation because what I like to do is collect all the rune items as I do the task. Got some low level food just for the spawns. The Nechs won't be able to hit you through prayer, but their spawns will. Their max hit is like 2, so you don't really have to worry too much about it, but having some food will matter because they're going to stack up on you, so there's going to be a significant amount of them, and they will damage you pretty aggressively over time. That's pretty much it. So we're going to head on over there and show you how to stack them and burst them, or barrage them in my case. Okay, so when you get on over to the Kourend Castle Courtyard, you'll notice there's a statue here. You're going to investigate the statue, and that is going to put you into a giant crypt just below. Now, where you're going to go from here is straight north to the Hill Giants, and then you're going to take a hard right due east to the Nechryal rooms. There are 2 Nechryal rooms, but they are most often full. It is a very popular location to kill the Nechryals, which is why I showed the Wildy option as well, because the Wildy tends to be a little less crowded. So you can see there's already somebody here, and it looks like somebody in this other room as well. I could be a jerk and just crash this guy's cave, but I won't. I'm going to hop until I find us a fresh one. So give me a minute here, and we'll be right back. Alright, so what you're going to do now is you're going to go into your NPC attack options here, and you're going to change the NPC attack option to always right click, throw your steel darts on, and then attack each of the Nechryals in the room. Make sure that you've got your protect from melee on because you don't want to take a bunch of damage. And then once you have all of the Nechryals on you, what you're going to do is just click back and forth between these 2 tiles here, and that's going to draw them all over, and you can see they're just turning into this beautiful little stack. Once I have them stacked up, I swap over to my staff and begin barraging. And then once they're all dead, you're just gonna pick up all your drops because they're all in this nice little pile here. Throw your darts back on and repeat. Again, just right clicking, hitting all the Nechryals in the room, and then run back over to these 2 tiles and stack them up. You'll notice I don't switch my staff until after I have them stacked up because I've got my auto retaliate still on, and sometimes you can accidentally start attacking them before they're all stacked and they'll freeze in the spot that they're in. So I wait till they're all stacked, switch over to my staff, keep my auto retaliate on, and then my character just begins automatically barraging them once they're in this beautiful little stack. And as you can see, I mean, right now we're only on 165 magic, but I mean, that realistically, like, I've had 300k an hour for magic XP here, and 10k passive prayer XP if you got the Ash Sanctifier because it's automatically scattering the ashes. You get over 100k in HP XP per hour here, and then Slayer wise I've had 60 to 80, sometimes 90k XP an hour from killing them using this method. So you get just a ridiculous amount of magic and Slayer XP. Now for the bigger and badder variant, we're going to run you through the Nechryarch. Now the Nechryarch you want to be mindful of because you can get pretty heavily damaged from it if you're not careful. So the Nechryarch does do quite a bit of damage, so the best way to deal with this is going to be to keep your distance. You do not want the Nechryarch to get close to you because it can damage you as well. It spawns some death spawns that are not weak like the death spawns that the Greater Nechryaels spawn. They can do quite a bit of damage, so what I recommend that you do is get a bunch of the Greater Nechryaels on you first to produce a bit of a buffer. And then what you're going to do is run over here in the corner or up against a wall, and you're going to pin the Nechryarch in such a way that it can't reach you. That's going to be really the key, is to keep your distance from the Nechryarch. You can also, if you need and you're getting injured because you have ancient magics on you and you've probably picked up blood runes from killing the Greater Nechryaels, you can also use blood spells to heal your character as well, so that is an option. But basically, if you just get a bunch of these Greater Nechryaels stacked around you and you pin the Nechryarch on the backside of them so it can't reach you, then you can go ahead and kill it without it doing very much damage to you or spawning its little night spawns, because those do hit through your prayer and they can hit quite a bit harder than the death spawns. So that's the best option. If it does get close to you, you can just take a quick step back here into the cave, and then it won't be able to reach you because it has quite a large radius with that 3x3 tile. So yeah. And when I'm all done, I just teleport to my house, refill at my pool, pop back over to Greater Kourend, and then bank in the castle bank. It is on the 3rd floor, just west of the statue that you initially went down, so you do have to climb up a staircase and then go up another staircase, and the bank is right here up top. So bank here, drop off all your goodies, and then go on back to the Nechryal spot. As always, if you have found this guide helpful, please hit the little like button, and remember to subscribe to my channel if you want to watch some more videos. I do have a number of other Slayer guides that are going up and are already up, and if you liked it, just let me know, and stay tuned for more. Thank you for watching. Good luck.